Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. Welcome, welcome to my channel. Especially if you are new, please chime in and say hello. If you don't know how to say hello during the live, you'll want to be logged into your Google or YouTube account, and that way you can get in on the live chat. And there's lots of people chatting today, so fun. We're having decent weather here in Minnesota. It's chillier than it has been, but we are going to have a sunny day. I'm super excited about that. And it looks like everything went live. My screen before I started, it was like, oh my gosh, this is totally different looking. YouTube changed a few things around. So yeah, anyways. Welcome to those of you who always come back to my channel. I adore you. Thank you so much for continuing to come back and watch my lives. I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate my members of my channel too, not only my subscribers, but my paying members. You are wonderful. Thank you for supporting my channel monetarily. You'll notice that there are certain people that have their names that stand out a little bit. They have the rhinestones next to their name. And then certain people, if you can do it in two different tiers, you can pay 99 cents a month to support my channel, or you can pay $5.99 a month, and that gets you an extra exclusive video. So we have one coming up at the end of this month, like we always do. And Trisha Josephs, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming every Wednesday to be my moderator. She is here to answer questions. So you'll see her name stand out as well. She has a symbol next to her name that looks like a little wrench, and she is here to answer questions, share links, give you information in the right direction, and all that sort of good thing. So gorgeous weather in Maplewood, Minnesota. Hi, Carol. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. I think it started like at 32 degrees, which in Fahrenheit, that's like freezing. So I don't know how our garden plants did. And then it's supposed to get up to like 60 something today, which isn't super warm, but it's pretty decent for this time of year. Okay, we have a PDF linked in the description of the video today. I'm trying to fine tune things. If I'm only gonna blog post once a week, I'm trying to give you resources each video. So we might be seeing some changes here and there, but I'm trying this out today. So last week on Saturday, was it? Saturday or Friday, whenever I did my mystery stamping, because that fluctuates back and forth between Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes, I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. But I had a link to a PDF in there for people to prepare for their mystery stamping, and that seemed to work out great. So in the description of my video, already you will see a link to this PDF. Why didn't I think of that earlier? I don't know. So here we go. This is what you'll be able to access. You can click on it and you can get the measurements, you can get the supply list, and most of those items are clickable links. And then you can see a couple photos in there just to give you a reminder of what projects we did in this video. The date is at the top left where my head is covering, and then the title is also in the top left. So if you want to, you can take these one-page PDFs and you can download them into a file on your device, or you can print them off and put them in a binder. But either way, it's a resource to help you remember what we did, to get you started in it, and then you can go back to that video and you can replay it again. You know what I just thought of? I could probably link that PDF title to the video too. I did that last week. Getting smarter every day. Anyways, so that's that. I wanted you to know about that. Yay, I'm glad you appreciate it. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. We always learn. Every day we learn something. Today is Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. And we are going to be playing around with a special kit. This kit is called the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. There is so much in here. I mean, already we've been told that you get over the $99 value in product, but then you get, you get to open these little cupboards every day that you want to, if you want to, or you can open it all at once like I'm doing. So disclaimer, you're going to see what's in this. So if you're buying it and you want to be surprised at Christmas time, don't watch the rest of this video. Watch it afterwards. Anyways, so yeah, you're going to see what's in here. And you can create with so many products. There's like 2 sets of dies. There's 2 stamp sets within 1 stamp set case. There's 2 sets of embellishments that are like, you'll see. Okay, let's go down to the desktop. Let us just play around. Okay, so inside, I opened these little doors last week when we did, was it last week or the week before, when we did a show and share, and you got to see this product and other things that are coming November. So inside those doors, well, this wasn't inside the door, but this stamp set includes 2 stamp sets in it, the words and then the images. That comes separate from the kit. And then you get inside one of your little cupboards, you get twine, you get embellishments in another, you get another set of embellishments in another. You get a little brush and some masking, like little stencils in another. Then you get these, oh gosh, embossed 3x4 Memories and More cards. I'm calling them Memories and More because in our products that Stampin' Up! Carries, this size card is made for like pocket scrapbooking, and we sell them in little packs called Memories and More packs, and there's like 4x6s and 3x4s. These are the 3x4 cards. You have another pack of 3x4s, and I have used a lot of them up in sample cards that I've finished already. We're going to use these 2 today. You get ephemera. You get like little packs of, oh gosh, where's the other one? Oh, it's behind me. You get little packs of ephemera, and I've used a lot of these. Oops, there's a stencil that didn't get in there. Here's the bucket. So yeah, I mean, you'll want to watch that video, and maybe I need to link that too. But that will show you everything in new form. You get a packet of one-sided 6x6 designer paper that is really pretty. You don't have to, pick a side. You don't have to choose. You get glitter glue, little gold glitter glue tube. Here's more ephemera, and there's actually pieces between the circles, but yeah, it's overwhelming. Here are the dies. Craziness. Puffy stickers. I mean, if you're not a puffy sticker fan, there's got to be somebody in your life that would be a puffy sticker fan. So you don't have to use it all either. You can buy this kit, Advent 12 days of crafting Advent calendar, but I call it a kit because there's so much in here, right? You can get this, and then you can give away parts and pieces of it. You don't have to use it all. In fact, I didn't even use this stamp set yet. It goes with these dies. Like there's little shaped dies in here that can cut them out. There's so much in here that I didn't use it all. I probably used half, and I have 3 different project ideas to share with you. Okay? All right, I did use the stencils. I used everything that you're seeing here. I used the words. So let's play, shall we? I'm going to zoom in again, and we are going to play. If you're going to get this kit and you are a beginning crafter, I want to tell you that a trimmer is a really, really necessary tool for any crafter. All right, so if you've watched any of my kit videos in the past, you want to have a trimmer. You want to have scissors. You want to have some basic adhesives, whether it's dimensionals or tear and tape or seal adhesive or glue dots or multi-purpose liquid glue. If you have them all, you can do lots more things. These are some great basic adhesives. These 2 can be interchangeable. Oopsie, can grab that. These 2 can be interchangeable, but this one does work well on certain times when this doesn't reach into places and that sort of thing. Dimensionals can come in a couple different sizes too, so you could get the mini ones, or you can cut your other dimensionals down. Don't forget, I always forget to tell you this, but if you get 1 seal, you don't have to keep buying the seal. You can buy the refills for it. Then, because you have stamps with it, you'll want to get inks. You'll probably want to get some colors because you have flowers in the set. Those are the colors that I'll be using. The other basic must-have, if you're going to get this kit, is a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine if you want to use the dies. This is the mini one. It's more affordable than the maxi one or the big one, but the mini boss versus the maxi boss or the big boss, just know that either one of them will work with these dies because the dies are smaller, so it would fit into your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then you got to have blocks. If you buy other kits, you can collect these D-size blocks from our kits collection kits that include stamps. So you don't have to invest in the ergonomic ones that Stampin' Up! Has. The D-size block will work with all of these stamps. And you only need one, really. If you're fine with slowly stamping, because you're going to have to clean off and then change out the stamp and then stamp again and then clean that off and change out the stamp. If you only have one, it'll still work. Okay, let's start. Let's start with, I don't know. I don't even know what to start with. Should we start with the masking? So because we're going to be creating things, it's nice to have extra cardstock too. I have thick white and I have the regular white cardstock. Either one will work. This one just is a little bit thinner and more flexible than the thick, but either one of them will work, just so you know. I store mine in file folders, obviously. And a grid paper, kind of, I mean, something to put underneath your surface if you're gonna get messy. Let's just put that down now. All right, I'm gonna take a piece of cardstock, and I've chosen this piece because it is really close to the same size as my mask. So I'm gonna zoom in here. We're gonna get close and comfortable. And I'm gonna put some temporary adhesive on the back side of this. You could use, you know, a couple dots of multi-purpose liquid glue, let it dry, and then stick it down if you want to. Or you can take and use Herma transfer tape. That's something that I have in my favorite extras on my website. You don't have to line it up with the grids on the grid paper. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm just doing it. But then the thing that is most important is that you look at these numbers, okay? There are numbers and little notches on these guys here, okay? They tell you what order to build your image with. So I'm gonna start with this one, and I've got my number 1 up. And I'm just gonna line it right up with the cardstock because I can. Now, if your cardstock's bigger and you have a little bit of edging around here, you may wanna use like sticky notes or something. That way you can cover up, you know, anything over here so that these little guys don't, you know, when you add the ink doesn't flow off the surface and get onto your cardstock. But also I'm gonna trim this down afterwards, and I know that. So I know that my piece is gonna be the size of this. I'm gonna go ahead and add some tape. I just have some extra tape here it is, wherever I put it. I'm just gonna add some tape right on the top, and I'll just add it right here, okay? Now that notch is helpful if you're gonna have a larger piece of cardstock area, because you can take and, you know, like make a little indentation or a little pencil mark or something before you put your tape down. But you can put a little pencil mark or something there to show that that's where you're gonna line up your future little stencils or masks, okay? Next, blending brushes are awesome for this. Now, this does come with a little brush, but I have to tell you, I tried using it, and it wasn't the smoothest little look. I think I would use this for maybe, I don't know, like watercoloring or something like that. I don't know if I'm such a fan of it for the pouncing up and down to stencil. You're gonna get a rougher look. So I'm gonna bring in my small and my larger blending brushes. I'll start with let's start with the small one. And we're gonna use Petunia Pop, which is a really pretty purple. Why did I choose purple? Because, first of all, it's a pretty color, but also the kit doesn't have purples in it, which is interesting to me. So I thought, why not think outside the box and do something different? So I'm gonna hold this steady down here. You could tape it, you know, in other places too, but I'm just gonna hold it steady. I'm gonna start off onto my grid paper, kind of swirling it to get the initial ink to soften up a little bit. And then I'm gonna come in off the side and start swirling around in a circle to get that ink to go into the grooves of the stenciled area. And you can see how there's that temptation for, you know, the ink to move even further outside of the mask. So that's why Post-it notes on the edges are helpful if you want to have a larger base. So there's a little bit of purple there, a little bit of purple here. Ooh, that's got darker because I didn't go off a lot, but that's okay because the next color that we're going to use is also going to be darker. So we're just going to come and swirl in with all of these, into all of these areas here. I tell you to start off of the area like over here, and then I go right in the middle of the flower. All right, so there's that. Then we peel this away. Okay, and again, you can put a little notch. If your paper is bigger, you can put a little notch there onto the grid paper to show where you're going to line up that notch again. Pull that away. Remember, this is staying put because we have temporary adhesive under it. And then you choose number 2. So we line up number 2, and we tape it in place as we're having flying stencils around. And you can see as we're doing this, it's so cool and it's so satisfying. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to grab another blending brush. Let's use our bigger one because Rachel is somebody that doesn't like to clean up everything all the time. So I don't like clean up my blending brushes. I also don't like to mix my colors. I could have used the same blending brush but with a darker color, but then I would have wanted to do it like, you know, going like this to get the color to come off, to use it in my Petunia Pop again. We're going into Berry Burst. It's a very similar color. You can go ahead and use the same blending brush for both colors. I'm just lazy. Okay, we're gonna hold this down, hold it still. You can see that not everything is lined up. That's okay. We're gonna get some dark into certain areas. So we're going on top of this again and filling in those little spots. Really, really fun and satisfying. I cannot tell you how fun this is. Now there's 2 other stencils. I'm not gonna do them all because we have so much to share today. But the other stencil actually fills in the middle of these 4 flowers here. Look how pretty that is. Oops, now we have to shimmy that out. The adhesive's still on the back side. But that's so pretty, right? Isn't that gorgeous? We're going to stick these off to the side, put our stencils away. So the other colors I use besides Petunia Pop and Berry Burst for my purples are, the light one is Coastal Cabana and the dark one is Summer Splash. They're kind of a bluish green. Totally fine. We can do leaves with bluish green, right? I'm going to move these over here. And I'm going to show you and compare the finished card. Here it is. Oh, wait, I want to do a couple other things. No, this is good. No, you know what? I'm going to do a couple other things. All right, after you've done your stenciling, then you want to trim. And I trimmed off 1/8 of an inch on each side. Do you see why I want to trim too? There's a little bit of purple haze there. So I trimmed it down 1/8 of an inch on these 2 sides. And then I think I trimmed off 1/4 of an inch on the bottom. Another thing I did with this layer is I took these sequins into my little Country Hive container, poured them in here, and sorted through. Take a peek at this, you guys. So these sequins have some really unique parts and pieces to them. There's this one, which is a little tiny bow, and it's 3D. It has a couple extra sequins on it right now, but it's 3D. Like there's dimension to this piece, and it's gone. It's somewhere. Well, here's one. We'll just take this one again. The problem with sequins is they fall out of your hands. Okay, I'm gonna hold it this way. Can you see the dimension on that? It's got a lot of lift. So that would be one that I probably wouldn't put like in a shaker card or something. Here's another bow. Here's another bow. But really fun to add to your card. We're just gonna peel off all the other sequins. I'm gonna use my finger. I licked it a little bit to get them. Okay, here's another one. Here's the other one I wanna show you. This is a heart. You have these little tiny hearts. that are also, if I can hold this up so you can see, that are also 3D. I should get the tweezers out. So there's a 3D-ness to those. So you could take and add them. In fact, let's just get the tweezers, Rachel. Let's hold up another one because it'll be easier for people to see. Oh, maybe we can't tweeze them because they got a rounded surface to them. So I might not be able to do this, you guys. Oh, I did it. Okay, there we go. They're thick. So I took and I added these to my card layer here. After it was cut down, after all the masking, the inking, and all of that was done, I added them to the card layer. And I put them up onto a dimensional, onto a card base. So I just took a half sheet of cardstock. We will fold this because I thought I had it folded and I didn't. We're gonna crease it at 5.5. So it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. And I added this to the top. Before I added it, I laid it in place, I stamped, stuck the dimensionals behind, and this is what I got. We breezed through that card. This is more of like a medium level card. We're gonna do easy cards next, and I will take you from start to finish through one of those. So you can see all the little elements. Now let's compare. You can use your stencils in a couple different ways. Do you see what I did there? I hope you can figure this out. Oh, thank you, Karen. You can flip your stencils. They can be used in the other direction. So, because they're the same on either side. So this one I did with the stencils upside down, just to give you a different look. Glued on with a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue, just tiny little dots of glue. Then I used that trick that I showed a couple videos ago where you pick up your piece with the end of your take your pick tool. You put your glue dot down, you grab your scissors, and you stick it onto the glue and you hold that scissors onto it so that you can pull your take your pick tool away. So that's how you can keep that from moving around when you're trying to glue it on. This is stamped in the Summer Splash and Coastal Cabana. Here's the insides of those flowers done with the Summer Splash look. Such a pretty card, right? And then this little thing here, I'm thinking I may add a little staple just to reinforce that look there. But I did that with the Petunia Pop. It's called Petunia Pop Iridescent. Yeah, Petunia Pop Iridescent Ribbon. You will find this in one of our Halloween suites. It is gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon. Look at the shine on that. So pretty. And all I did was fold it in half. It's like a 2.5 piece of ribbon. Trimmed it. Trimmed both sides at an angle. Then I put a little bit of this adhesive. Just a tiny little bit. I just tore it off, stuck it in the middle, like that, squished it to hold it down in place, peeled off the backing, and then folded my ribbon so that that adhesive was staying within and staying covered up. And then I put a little bit of that same adhesive on the back side and just stuck it down onto my card. The ribbon looks the same on either side. So again, I may put a little staple through there just because I have colored staples because I'm weird that way. So I will probably put a little staple in there and then just make sure that the back side is pressed flat so that nobody gets caught on the staple backing. But that's one card idea. Then the next card idea, let me share that with you. What I did for that card is I got very, very inspired by the 3x4 Memories and More cards in the pack. There were quite a lot of them, quite a lot of images, and I like to show quick and easy often. I'm a kit person. I love kits. I love to show people that you can make cards quick and easy. And so this is going to be a quick and easy card using a couple more of these Memories and More cards that are left over. I already used 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. I already used 8 others. So there were 10 that came. And here we're going to use the other 2. This one with the pretty embossed images on there, we're going to use on the last project. So I will be using that too. For our cards, I paired up the Memories and More with each other and thought, what goes with what? Well, this would be a nice sentiment on the front of the card. So I'm going to use that. And then I think I'll use this side. Okay, you have to kind of pick and choose. And which direction does this look better? I think this direction. So I'm going to trim this in half. I need to pull back a little bit, Rosie. Okay, we're too close now. Thank you. I'm going to cut this in half at 1.5 inches so that we have an even amount for embellishing the sides of our card. This is the look I wanted to have. And then I thought, wouldn't it be cool if this lifted up so that you could, open the card in the middle? So we are taking a 4.25 by 5.5. Nope, we're taking a less than 4.25 by 5.5 piece. Okay, so basically you want to have a 1/4 sheet of your cardstock, and you're going to trim off just 1/16 of an inch from this top edge. It's going to be a landscape horizontal card. Hello, AK. How are you? All right, and then we're going to take another piece, and this piece I've already cut to 3.25 inches wide to 8.5 inches tall, and it's scored at 4.25. So this is going to wrap around the card like that, and then it will open in the middle. Because I want this to be even, I could either take and use that grid paper again and measure things out and be really meticulous and make sure everything's centered, or I can take and add these 2 pieces first, which will help me visually to center that other flap. So we're going to add these, and I'm just going to put some seal adhesive, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit more on that side. We're going to put some here, making sure that our white edges that are surrounding it on the top, bottom, and the left look even. And then we'll put some on the other side. And you don't have to have these, puzzle pieced together and then pulled apart, because they're so far apart from each other that it really doesn't matter. Like I could flip this one over if I wanted to. I don't, but I could. I'm going to stick that over here. And now that we have that done, it's going to be so much easier to center the white piece behind, because I can look to see how far away these edges are from here. It's a little bit easier for me to do that. And once I've got that, I'm going to close the flap. I'm going to kind of tap it down in place, because there is a little bit of extra on this edge here, and we want our card to look pretty good when it is opened up. We don't want to have anything hanging out the bottom here, right? So we open it up, we look again. Does it look good? Yes, it does. So I'm going to flip this up just a bit while I'm holding down the bottom. I'm going to put adhesive across there, push it down in place, turn it around, do the same thing on this side, adhesive across the bottom, and push it in place. And now we have our flap on there. We're just going to emphasize that crease so it lays flatter. And then this piece can go on top. Now this piece, kind of colorful on that side. I think we'll stick with this piece, but there's something unique about this image here. So I will show you that. Let's first add it with dimensionals. Dimensionals are awesome tools, adhesive tools for anybody, but if you are a beginner, please get dimensionals. This adds so much to your paper crafting projects. You get that little shadow. You don't have to worry about inking edges or anything. It just creates a shadowed little edge, some pizzazz. It's just a great tool for giving more interest. See how the bottom and the right there's like a little shadow going. There's the shadow again. So it just gives that little extra oomph. Okay, we have that done. You can stamp in the middle if you want to. You can put something up here if you want to. I'm going to leave those blank. And instead, I'm going to bring in another piece from the kit. So we're going to set that aside for a minute. These are a bunch of gold foiled labels. Hi, Patricia. So these are gold foiled labels. There were way more that came in the kit. I used up a ton of them. Nice thing about most of them is they're doubled. So if you make a mistake, Okay, I'm going to show you the mistake. I didn't want to. I flipped it over. If you make a mistake, you have a second one to work with. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these. We'll keep that one over here just in case. And I'm going to bring in my stamps. My stamps. Now we have to find, oh, here they are. Okay, so remember I told you the flower stamps, which are in my bucket. I'm not storing them with my other stamps yet, but these are the only ones I used in all of my projects today, but I have yet to dive into these. So I'm using the top one right there. And we can put miss you in there, love you fits, for someone extra special. Thinking of you as a little small. Healing hugs, that works too. Proud of you. For someone extra special. And healing hugs. I'm going to do healing hugs on the inside of my card. I changed my mind. You can do that when you're creating. And because my card is all blue, I'm going to choose the darkest of the colors. I'm going to choose Secret Sea. It's a really popular, nice, dark navy. It's called Secret Sea, and I'll stamp with that color. We're going to grab a couple blocks. I am using my ergonomic ones, but remember I said you can just use a kit block that works just the same. It's a little thinner, but it works just the same. We're going to ink by tapping lightly, and we're going to stamp. And because you can see through them, you want to angle this, by the way. Angle your stamps on your block, because otherwise you might look at the edges of your block to stamp, and you don't want to do that. So we're looking at the label underneath, and we're stamping this down nice and even and centered. And then this one, we will stamp on the inside of the card. So let me open that up. And we'll stamp that down right here. Okay, these stamps I can now clean. I can close this up. I'm not doing any more stamping on that card. I'm going to go ahead and grab my mist and my cleanup pad. And we're just going to mist the left side somewhere. We will clean, and then we will dry, wash and dry. Someone at a convention, a Stampin' Up! Convention a long time ago said, this is the cheapest washer and dryer you'll ever own. I love that. Then you can peel these off, and you can put them back onto the plastic that your stamps are sitting on, okay? So I'm gonna put those inside my container because I don't wanna lose them. We are ready. Let's put these labels away. We didn't have to redo our label, thankfully. Yeah, I messed up on that one. That's okay. You can use the flip side of it. Like, this isn't something that I should throw away yet, because I can still use the flip side of it, even if it doesn't have the gold foiling on it. It's a nice shape. Okay, then we're going to grab our dimensionals. And once again, we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, because this shape is perfect on top of here. So because I don't have anyone, well, I do soon. My son Luke is moving to California, but I don't wish that he stays here. I want him to have success. So I guess I wouldn't send that to him quite yet. Maybe I'll send it to him if he's in misery. But there we go. For someone special, healing hugs. So I have that nice little blue emphasis around it because of the image underneath. And then we have like little shapes like this. Let's pull those out. So I could stick like a flower back here and maybe tuck a little leaf in there. Excuse me. Excuse me. Holy cow. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to lift this up before it completely sets in place. We're going to add just a bit of adhesive back here. We're going to tuck that into that corner. And then we'll add a little adhesive back here. Because this is so tiny, I think I'm going to add it with a glue dot. Glue dots are great for those tiny areas. We can take and peel it. Grab the first one that's ready here. Stick our paper right on top of it. press, and then get your fingernail underneath there to grab it. And now it has a glue dot on the back side. You can take and tuck that under here. I did have water today. I did. Sometimes I go on live and I forget to drink something. But I did. Hang on. I just gotta... You know what's hard about drinking water on a live is that there's dead air, like nobody's talking. All right, so there, we have that. And then we could take and glue on, in fact, maybe we will. Maybe we'll glue on a couple of those hearts. Let's do that technique. Now I have a precision tip bottle. It's dirty. Wow, Rachel. I have a precision tip bottle that I pour my multi-purpose liquid glue into when I want to use just a tiny, tiny amount. I hold them in these containers from the Country Hive. Gotta love that. Country Hive is great for these organizers, your little desktop organizers. They're so fun. Okay, I'm gonna take and put a heart, I think. Let's grab one with the take your pick tool. I'm gonna put one maybe up here. Let's kind of map out where they're gonna go. One. Let's see, put one maybe over here. Do we want it really heavy at the top? I don't even know. I'm making this card up on the fly. I'm doing it just like, I don't know. It's coming off the top of my head, you guys. Let's move these over here. Let's do a couple hearts over in here. And then maybe add this one down here. I think I like that. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to put my little drop of glue here. And I may have to shake it down because it's probably not filled all the way to the top. There we go. Little drop of glue, although that's a lot. Get your little scissors out. And we're going to put it in place. Grab the scissors and hold it. And there was a lot of glue under there. We're going to have to kind of shimmy it. Next one. Less glue, Rachel. This time less glue. Just a drop. I have a friend who is going through a very hard time, and I think I'm going to send this card to her. All right, and then lift this up. So we don't want to make mistakes. This card has to be pretty because she's a beautiful person. All right, we're going to stick that down and hold it. See, that's my technique, because that sticky thing on the end of the take your pick tool can really grab onto your embellishments or whatever you're adding and hold on to them for a long time. So there is my finished card. I'm going to show you the other four. I have 4 others using that same pattern. We're going to still have these because we're doing something cool with them next. So I'm going to show you one last project. Stick around. Okay, next we have this card. So that was using one of those gold foiled labels. Stamp the thinking of you in there, a couple leaves. Same thing, dimensionals. Nothing's on the inside, but the same cuts, same measurements, same everything. Here's a second one. This is a Miss You card. That Miss You fit in there so nicely with the big giant M. A little bow. This is an ephemera piece, and I stuck the other adhesive. Okay, these are the other embellishments that you get. These guys here, and they kind of have a rounded surface on them. So I stuck that down the same way I did the hearts with the glue. Okay, just a little gem. You get tons of them though. So if you're willing to, get some of that glue, you are going to never run out of gold circles. And you're never going to run out of these pretty things. You get a huge bag of each. Okay, and the inside of that, I did put one of the ephemera pieces right there. And then for this one, I did lots of those gold dots as if they're like little confetti, because this is my birthday wishes card. I stamped my sentiment by masking it. So it does come as one long stamp. I inked up the birthday part first, stamped that down, cleaned off my stamp really well, and then inked up just the wishes and stamped that underneath. And that's how I got that. Nothing on the inside of that one. And then the last of the 5. This one uses some more extra gold banners. Like this one's just gold banners and they came in that same pack. This ink, okay, so these two are Old Olive ink. I got to tell you that too. These are stamped with Old Olive ink. This one, you know, was Secret Sea. And then this one under here was Flirty Flamingo, just so you know what colors coordinated on those cards. And then I used Secret Sea again, but I first removed some of the ink by stamping it onto my scrap paper, and before re-inking again, I just stamped it into the middle of the circle and got that really nice light blue look that matched more of the lighter blue that's on this card. So gentle blue, added some of those gold circles because there's a couple different sizes in there, so that was kind of a fun way to add pizzazz to those banners. Nothing on the inside, okay? I hope you enjoyed those ideas. Okay, we're gonna put those off to the side, and we're going to bring in one last project. We need a trimmer for this. We may need extras of those, so I'm gonna have those ready. We will need our tear and tape for this. This is a good thing to have tear and tape for. And we're going to use what's called a clear envelope, if I can find it. It is somewhere around here. So the clear envelope, I'll just grab one from, here it is. Clear envelope is something that's a fun way to send cards. Like you can put your cards into these clear envelopes and send them. You just want to make sure that your postage can be canceled. So you want to have the postage on the outside and you want to have everything readable. You may have to pay extra because it's a clear envelope. This measures 4.5 by, well, whatever width you want it when you close the card. You can even put like a 6-inch card in there or something. I'm going to trim in this direction and I want to look at my measurements here. Cut off, so it's 4 inches. Okay, 4 inches. I'm going to bring this flat edge to the 4-inch mark. Hold it steady because it's slippery, and then cut this off. We're not going to be using this portion of your envelope. Because this is 4.5 inches tall, our 4x3 cards, our Memories and More cards, are not, they're going to be kind of, they have wiggle room in there, right? So we're going to do something special to kind of prevent it from wiggling too much. I really love this one with the floral pattern. There's another pattern in here, but I don't want to use it for what we're making. We're making a bookmark. So there's that. You could use these for tags. You could use them for bookmarks. You could use it for the embellishment on the front of a card, but it's a faker shaker for those of you that have already guessed. Okay. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to insert it, if I can grab it. We're going to insert it into our envelope in this direction. You're going to push it down into that lower left corner, lower left. And then you're going to take and you're going to fold. You're going to fold this part over. You're going to hold it nice and steady and flat. And you're going to use your bone folder because your bone folder will help. And it's going to give you this crease in here. Now we're not going to seal anything yet because we have to put some stuff inside of there. But you can see we have formed a bend, a fold. It's ready to fold back nice and neat. Before we fold it back, we're going to add some sequins. So let's look at our sequins again. We want to make sure that there's nothing in here like those hearts, nothing that's going to be too high. Now you can keep those in there if you're making a card or if you're making, you know, a tag or something, but this is going to be a bookmark. Can you imagine something bulky between your pages of your book? You don't want anything too bulky in there. So I'm getting rid of all the 3D looking ones. There's another 3D looking one in here that looks like little butterflies. And then there's these tiny, there's another heart. There's these tiny little beads which have holes in them. So you can make jewelry out of this if you want to. But these butterflies here are really cute. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They have little folds. I don't know if you can even see that, but let's see if I can just stick it on here and hold it against maybe something white. They have little folds It's a folded butterfly. It's hard to tell, but it's a folded butterfly. Yeah, just lay it on there. Let's see if they can see it better there. I don't know. Anyways, it's cute, but it's not folded up too badly. So I mean, not badly, but it's not folded up too much. So it's too 3D. So I'm going to leave the rest of these things in here. I just got rid of the hearts and I got rid of those big bows. And we're going to pour this into our card. All right. And you could take a spoon. You could do something like that. Or you can just be really careful and add it using a little tray like this. There's the contents. Okay, we just poured them in there. We're going to fold this over onto itself, and we're going to put some tear and tape adhesive along the back of this outer edge. So we're going to add it right through here. Tear it off. That's the beauty of tear and tape. Gotta love it. So we're pressing that down. You can use your bone folder to burnish it or whatever, and then you're going to peel up, and you could use your scissors or you take your pick tool to get under there. I have thin fingernails. It's a great tool to have. Pull this back, fold this over, nice and flat. But look, there's an opening. Yes, there is. Do you see that? There's a little opening there. We have to repair it. So we're going to take a smaller piece of tear and tape. And as long as we can flatten out this part, the rest of it's fine. So we're not going to make it as long. We're going to make it maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch shorter in each direction. So we can take and add that in here. If it helps, you can fold it in half like this and then take and lay it down and guide it in on top of your other tear and tape layer. See how I did that? So now that's in there. Burnish that. Peel off the backing. And you want to start from the middle and flatten it down like that. Now we're going to take, we got it flipped over. Isn't that pretty? Now, because we don't want to have all of our sequins necessarily going up to this top area, there is one other thing that I'm going to grab, and that is from, did I put it back here? I did. That is from this container of labels. There's a cute little, or did I use it? Nope, here it is. A cute little banner that looks like that. And you could make your own. You could just take cardstock and, you know, fold it over, or you could take and cut these down. But this is like the perfect size. I'm going to grab my trimmer. I'm going to lay it in here. I'm going to line it up with the 3/4 of an inch, but just slightly back one. So here's the 3/4 of an inch. I went back a little bit. I'm going to lay this down and fold it. Or you could just fold it in half with your hands. And now I can crease that. Take my bone folder. Here it is. Press it down. I'm going to use my seal adhesive because that's quicker if I can find it. And I'm going to lay this down right across here and slather the back. Slather it all over so that there's adhesive all over the back side of that piece. There we go. There's a good view. Then we're going to go right where this seam is because we want to cover up that. Can you see that glue, that tape? We're going to cover up that tape. So we're going to lay it right here, pinch it, fold it down. Okay, that makes that little seal part disappear. And then to keep the sequins from going all over the place, I'm going to use a punch. And this punch comes from our whole punch pack. And we have 3 punches in that whole punch pack. It's a great, great addition if you're going to be making tags or if you just need a nice little 1/8 inch hole. This is super cool. So flip it over, open it up, slide it in there. Oh, wait, before we do that, we need a pencil. I forgot, because otherwise it might be off. So we're going to take and mark it where we want to punch. And then we're going to slide it in here. And you see that? I can line it up with my little pencil mark and I can punch it. And now I have my hole exactly where I wanted it. The twine that comes with the kit, it's awesome stuff. Lots of it too. I'm going to use the pink because that's what I have a lot of, and I'm going to measure out about 20 inches of this using my grid paper. There's measurements on your grid paper, by the way. And we'll just use our ribbon cutting scissors, trim that. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. And then I'm going to take this loop where there's 2 loops at the bottom. And I'm going to start from the front. Or did I start from the other side? Oh, I always get mixed up on this. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to start from the front and I'm going to push those loops to the back. They will fit in that hole. They're skinny enough. Open the loops up. Bring this twine through those loops like that. See how I did that? And then tighten. And then you can take and trim this. You can even fray the ends if you want to get really, really artsy with it. You can make all of the fibers that make up the twine. You can make them just kind of shredded if you want to. That's kind of a fun look. You could add even more. I mean, look how much room you still have through that hole. And now you have this fun shaker bookmark to give to somebody. This one is pretty much exactly the same. So there we have shaker bookmarks. If you wanted to add them to the front of a card, you could take that white cardstock again, and you could add it like this. If the 2 whites bother you, like all of a sudden I thought of that, then you could take some of the designer paper that's in the kit, and you could cut down a layer that is 4 by 5 1/4 inches of something really, really, really pretty, right? And now you have that look. And if you want to go even further with it, you could take and add a sentiment label right on the front of your card. It would cover up some of your sequins, but that sentiment label would give you a place to write what you want to write, and then your shaker stuff would flow behind the behind the sentiment. It's just, I don't know, there's so many options for this. So I hope that you enjoyed that idea. Those are the 3 ideas I came up with. You can do so much, you guys. This kit is filled with lots of goodies, lots of doodads. Let me think if there's anything I didn't show you. Oh, the adhesive eraser, that tool. So I mentioned that in my supplies because when you get done with inking this up, you want to get rid of some of this stuff so that you can put it onto your card. So I just use my adhesive eraser to help clean that up after. Let's see, I think I talked about everything else. I hope so. I'm looking around on my table and I think I covered it all. Let's bring in those pieces again. So the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar is a product that I believe is still available. They're telling us that it is selling out fast, like things are going faster than they thought. So I'm going to do a quick check online here, and I'm just going to type in Advent and see if it's still there. I pray it is. Advent. It is. It's still there. So if you're really, really wanting to get the Advent calendar, I encourage you to do that soon. Where are my other samples? I encourage you to do that soon. You can give one as a gift. You can keep it for yourself. You can buy multiples. But yeah, there's so much you can do. And these are just using a few of the pieces so far. Let me think of what else I want to tell you. It's $99, but you do get, we were told like over $120 worth of product in there. And then the fun of the packaging, like they didn't even count the packaging product part of it. So it's a good deal. You can add that to your starter kit. There's a starter kit special going on this month. During the month of October, there is a starter kit special. I'm just going to bring you to my blog now. We're going to head over to my website. We'll take a peek at some stuff here. So you can scroll to where it says my blog. You can click on any of these from my blog. We'll click on the last one. This is the last blog post that I had. I'm just going to scroll down because this talks about the different things that I shared last week. And we're going to go to the very bottom. The very bottom is where I have my promotion area. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Okay, promotion area, right below the product lists. Gosh, are you dizzy yet? Who's dizzy? There it is. During the month of October, you can get in on the demonstrator side of the website. You can become a discount shopper. You can get products early. You can be a part of our Stampers with Art community. But you have to purchase the starter kit to do that. So $35 for $125 worth of product. It is the coolest deal that they've had in a long time. And so I encourage you to take advantage of it. You can also choose the more expensive one. Either way, you get $90 in free product. It just depends on what you want to get. So if your wish list is big and you have to get all of it at once, you could get the larger starter kit, or you could get the cheaper one and then do a discounted order after you're a demonstrator to get the rest of it. That'll help you to stay active too. But you get to stay active through the end of March, even if you don't buy anything or sell anything, just so you know. Also, we are in the midst of a kit sale. Now, it's not counting the advent calendar. It's not counting the already discounted starter kit. It's not counting Paper Pumpkin, but it is counting things like the Kids Collection kits. So I'm going to bring you to the desktop and I'm going to show you my latest purchase. This is the one that's the Nutcracker Tags kit. I'm going to do some really fun stuff with this. I love making alternates with kits. If you get on the online store, so let's just go back to the computer. How do we do that, Rachel? How do we do that? If you are back at the online store and you're trying to search, I'm just going to click here. Click on online store. It's going to take you directly to it, but oh, it didn't. It just took you to the online store. Good. So if you're in the online store and you're trying to find the Kids Collection sale and you didn't see the banner that went across, you want to click on specials at the top and then you choose Kids Collection. You could also search for it in the menu, but there's a specials tab. It'll bring you to all the kits. They are 10, 20, 30% off depending on the kit. So please check that out. Shop the sale. Make sure you take advantage of it. This is the last day today. It was started Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And oh gosh, I want to make sure I tell you about all the fun stuff. Oh, ordering. If you're interested in ordering, you can certainly order from me directly. I have links in the description of my video. You can find links on my blog. Just click on the shop button. The shop button will link your order to me. If you're a demonstrator already, shop from yourself. If you have a demonstrator, shop from them, but I hope that you enjoyed the ideas that I shared. And if you do shop from me and you order at least $50 worth of product, you get a tutorial bundle, you get loyalty points. There's all kinds of fun things like that you can get in on. My next live is on what day? Friday the 10th at 7 p.m. We're doing a unique time. We're doing an evening one on Friday. I'm hoping to show my last few Paper Pumpkin project ideas that I did with the last kit called Fall for 12. So that's my goal, and I hope to see you there on that. You can find a link to my calendar of when I do my lives also in the description of my video. So just read through that description. It has a ton of information. It can guide you into the right direction, kind of like what Trisha does during my lives. But just click below there and check it out. You'll want to be connected to that calendar so you can see when I go live. And I think that's all. Did I cover it? I hope I covered it. Are there any questions that I didn't answer? You saw the unboxing of the calendar, but we'll open the doors each day in December. Good for you, Linda. Yes, you know what? Even if you know what's in it, because there's so many videos out there where we're showing it, right? Even if you know what's in it, it's still fun to open a door each day. What I'm going to do with my box is, I know my kids are older and only one will be home, but he doesn't even know I'm going to do this. In fact, he might be listening right now and cringing, but I'm going to put something inside each of these for him because they're still easy to close again. And I'm going to give him an advent calendar this year for 12 days. He can pick whatever 12 days he wants in December and just open a door here and there. And there's going to be something in there for him. So there we go. It's been fun. Thank you. Thank you. No questions coming through. I think Trisha probably answered them. I tried to give it a little extra time, but I think we're good. So I'm going to let you all go. Thanks everyone for joining me. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.